When I stood back in this last 20 years and I started looking at the research on analytics of metrics of people in this population we live in North America particularly, the average age is 77 years old. That's what people expect to live, an average of 77 years. Some more, some less. People die in their 50s and 60s. Some people die in their 80s and 90s. And then when you look at the world of health conscious people, the average age is 81. And I knew there was something very wrong with that picture. After all the people do in the health conscious world, from meditation to exercise to eating clean to protocols to modalities to technologies and all these things that are available in the so-called high-level wellness category, you only get an extra 4 years. On June 7th, 2023, I turned 65 years old. And I have health equivalent to between a 25 and a 35-year-old in most areas of my body today. This is not how it started. It's been a 20-year health journey, and it started when I was around 46 years old, when I was diagnosed with life-threatening illnesses, all based upon medical diagnosis. And the prognosis is I had about 36 months to live at 46 years old. And that was a big shock. It was an accumulation of a whole lot of things that got me in this kind of trouble. But fortunately, I was able to learn exactly how to fix that in enough time to use the 36 months that I had to live to extend that to 60 months. And then I started learning more and more important factors on how to support my own personal human body to heal itself. Because there's no magic potions, there's no magic pills, there's knowledge, and people perish from a lack of knowledge. Over the last 20 years, I've learned enough now that if I could go back to myself at 46 years old, when I had a huge tumor in the bottom of my abdomen, heart disease and liver function that was completely off the charts, they didn't even know how I was alive, to getting all of those things completely dissolved. At the time, it took 7 years to get rid of the tumor, 5 years to get rid of the heart disease, and almost 9 years to get my liver back in the condition when it was in the normal medical range. But if I could go back today to myself at 46, with the knowledge I have now, it would take a maximum 6 months, a few $1,000s, and I would be completely well. Well, the journey all that way through in those first 7 years and the millions of dollars it took to learn, that's not what I want to talk about. What I'm sharing today is how you and me and anyone you know who gets this information can support their own body's ability to maintain its health at the highest levels and keep that level of health indefinitely. Now that sounds pretty far-fetched, but it's actual reality. It's mathematically true, scientifically real, and this is what activation is all about. I started a company with my sons about 2007. This is about 3 years into the journey. And that company started because I learned about something very important involving sea minerals and ocean nutrients. Just that one little revelatory thing that came my way allowed my body to regain its health at levels I didn't even know were possible. And it was like my battery was being recharged. Even though I was still very ill and all the measurements were very poor, I was able to maintain a very good feeling in my body. And that gave me a lot of courage. You know, I was encouraged. That's where you get courage from. I became super enthusiastic because I didn't know you could feel that good. And that was just early on. So today we have all the knowledge and the information where now we can remediate all the problems by getting rid of them. Rather than trying to find remedies for symptoms, I now have found out what the actual problems are inside the human body of all of us, what is actually harming us on a daily basis, and what we can do about it to fix that problem. So then the problem is gone. When you fix the problem disappears. So today I'm very, very thankful to be able to tell you that I know how to get rid of all the problems that everyone is facing. Because when I stood back in this last 20 years and I started looking at the research on analytics of metrics of people in this population we live in North America particularly, the average age is 77 years old. That's what people expect to live, an average of 77 years. Some more, some less. People die in their 50s and 60s. Some people die in their 80s and 90s. And then when you look at the world of health conscious people, the average age is 81. And I knew there was something very wrong with that picture. After all the people do in the health conscious world, from meditation to exercise to eating clean to protocols to modalities to technologies and all these things that are available in the so-called high-level wellness category, you only get an extra 4 years. Now, granted, you're going to have a better quality of life day to day, but I knew there was something terribly flawed with those numbers. And I believed that there was some missing links that we didn't have. And I knew I didn't have them, and I knew that all the health gurus and all the biohackers and all the people out there didn't have these keys. It was the pursuit to find the keys, but you can't find the keys. It's not possible. You could have given me $10 trillion 20 years ago, I would have never found the keys. It's not about how much money you throw at something. It's not about being rich and being able to do a bunch of stuff. It's about being open to the idea that the truth is out there. And when you open yourself up to it, I started to get these little things that were suspicions, and I'm not a suspicious person. But when I say suspicion, I was suspecting that this and this and this were actually going to come up to a key that was going to unlock a massive lock that was holding me back and holding all of us back. That was going to open up the opportunity for all of us to live far beyond 81 years old, but with really great quality of life. If you type on Google right now and you look at the longest living persons on Earth, some live to 117, some live to 127, and various numbers in between. Every one of those people look terrible right before they die. And it's just like people in their 60s, they look okay. In their 70s, they're looking a little bit rough. But by the time they're 80, they look terrible. Who wants anything like that? That's not what I'm interested in. I don't think you're interested in it either. This is not about living a long time. This is about quality of life today that gets better tomorrow. And the day after that, it gets better again and again and again and again, until you're better and better and better, stronger, faster, smarter, healthier, more mobile, more flexible, more agile, and just looking and feeling great. Because nothing looks and feels as great as looking and feeling great. So the whole object is one thing. It's a measurement device. You become the measuring device. You can tell when you're getting better or getting worse. Now, the paradigm in this world we live in is that people expect the bottom to fall out as they get older, especially when they get into their 70s and 80s. That's a total incorrect mindset. We've been programmed and conditioned to think along these lines, and then our body believes everything that we tell it. They tell us that we have 10% use of our brain. That's the biggest lie that's ever been told. I got good news for you today. You have 100% use of your brain. Now, if you have congestion and you have pollutants in your system, that blocks the access to get 100% use of your brain. But every one of us can access 100% use. We're not waiting for some miracle in the future to get 100%. You got it today. And you can tell yourself that because it's actually true. Your body's hyper intelligent. I found out that there are intelligence levels of our body that's beyond comprehension. We're so intelligent. You are so intelligent. It takes 80,000 thoughts just to touch your index finger to your thumb, just once. And I can do it like this and twiddle all my fingers and wiggle my toes while I'm telling you this. It's all automatic. So our bodies are very intelligent, but you have to support that intelligence. Every time you keep breathing all the garbage in the air that you breathe, that takes your health away. If you don't know how to get the stuff out that you're breathing in, you will die right on time. An average 77 years old if you're mainstream, an average of 81 years old if you're a health conscious person. And that sucks. That's not the way it's supposed to be. So this is all about us tapping into the knowledge that sets us free from that whole paradigm. And then we just get better and smarter and stronger as we get older. The older you get, the better you should get. You have more time. You have more access. Like I said, when I was 46 and I was told I had 36 months left to live, people go, I'm going to be dead in 36 months. I never said that. That meant that I had 36 months to live and turn that 36 months into 60. And then I got more bandwidth and then turn the 60 months into 120 months and then keep going. So the more we go, the better it gets. That's what this message is all about today. This is the origin story. This is the health journey of activation. This is my personal health journey. And it's measurable. That's the cool thing about it. Now, when we're talking about internal health, our biological systems, they're measurable. There's all kinds of devices that can measure where you're at. I measure right now, on average, I'm about 35 years old. But what about my structure? What about your frame? What about your joints? What about your connective tissue, your muscles, your ligaments, your tendons? What about all that? What if that's all broken? Well, I can tell you what that's all about because I was extremely injured when I was 21 years old in a rig accident. It destroyed my left knee, where I could never water ski or snow ski again. My right knee was damaged in a snowmobile accident when I was 27. My left shoulder was broken in 4 places when I was 16 years old, a teenager, and I'm left-handed. I couldn't throw a baseball ever again properly until I found out how to fix it. My right shoulder, 3 times torn rotator cuff, so severely that when I was 62 years old, I couldn't even lift my arm up. Found out how to heal it completely. My body today is totally fixed structurally because there's no point in living a long time biologically if you don't have a good structure. So you're a multifaceted being. And I've learned the actual principles that work 100% of the time for 100% of the people. And that's what we're here to share with you now, to give you the keys. These keys are actually free. The only thing required from you is to invest a small amount of time, a small amount of energy, and a small amount of effort, and almost no money at all to get the results that you're looking for. No one wants to be a health nut and chase your tail all day long just to be healthy. Right? All the people who spend massive amounts of time, energy, and money and have teams of doctors and they're so wealthy and they're maintaining a youthful age, that's not doable for you or me. That's not doable for people. I wanted to find something that was fun, that was easy to do, that you could employ quickly. It didn't take a large amount of skill. And it's the basic principle of that which is great is manifested in simplicity. So the message today is so simple. We have all of this to share. And I'm so thankful I can stand here today and share it with you because it's real, measurable. In the physical world, seeing is believing. So I would just say, people, show me. Bring me the evidence. It's measurable. It's calculatable. So we're here today to make that a reality for you, if you're interested. If you want to go on the journey, all you got to do is start building courage in your bank account, to be encouraged, to get enthusiastic, to see the results, to experience it, and then to share that within your realm of influence around the people you love. Just think about how many people you know in your life. We only get to meet 200 to 300 people who we actually get to know in our whole lifetime. And just the handful of people you're around, those are the people you can influence. So this is the message. It's not about me, it's all about you. What I have done doesn't do you any good unless I give you the keys and you yourself do it. So I welcome you to this activation world to get activated and start enjoying your life to the max.